Why, hello there, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Mine was pretty good, I would say. It all started when I woke up at around 1, wait, no. No, 10 in the morning. And when I got up, my mom was cooking the turkey. I decided to get some water and drink it. It was quite good. Then, afterwards, my sister got up and I greeted her. I told both my mom and my sister when I first saw them, Happy Thanksgiving. And they said Happy Thanksgiving back. My sister decided to get a cup of coffee, and my mom was making the Thanksgiving preparations, and I decided that I would make a dessert for the holiday. So I decided to make cinnamon buns or cinnamon rolls with icing. This process is quite long and arduous because you need to wait quite a while for the dough to rise, but I decided to do it anyways. So I found a recipe online, the one I used last time I made this recipe of cinnamon rolls, and I followed it to the letter. My sister decided to leave and asked if we would like anything. Seeing as I was allowing myself to not eat low carb today, I asked if I could have a bag. If we, well, not just me, but if she could get a bag of Cheetos for us to all split together. She agreed, and she left. She would also get other material that was needed in order to make the food work. One of the things that we suggested before she left was maybe get a turkey baster, but it turns out that we didn't really need to. We just need to drain the fat from the turkey into a separate bowl. And then my mom put that fat into the gravy. So eventually my sister left, and I was working on the cinnamon rolls this whole time. I mixed flour, yeast, sugar, salt. I put water and butter in. I put it in our electric mixer with the kneading hook for like a good 20 minutes. No, not 20 minutes, like 10 minutes. And I was gradually adding flour in till eventually it formed a consistency. I grabbed that ball and I kneaded it until it was smooth and it wasn't sticking to my skin. I tested this by flattening it out, sticking my finger into the dough, pulling it out, and seeing if my finger came out clean. And when it did, I knew that this was pretty much good to go. I then had to wait 10 minutes for this dough to rise a little before taking it out. Of course, I needed to take all the supplies I used for this recipe, and I ended up cleaning it and then wiping the table down with water and a sponge, and then drying with a clean towel before putting flour on the surface of the table, putting the dough on there, and then stretching it into a rectangle and then rolling it out. I then whipped some butter. I evenly spread it all over the cinnamon roll. I sprinkled some cinnamon and brown sugar on top, patted it in, rolled it up, cut it into equal slices, and then put it in 2 metal containers where they would rise for an hour. My middle sister eventually arrived, and not my youngest sister who went to the store, but my middle sister who said she would be arriving for visitation and Thanksgiving festivities. So when she arrived, we greeted her with open arms, and lots of hugs were had, and it was pretty good. I greatly enjoyed it. And then my sister eventually arrived. She brought the Cheetos along with other items I'm forgetting right now for some reason. And then we just were, uh, you know, greeting each other. And my middle sister said she brought a game along that would test how well you believe you know someone. And this was a really cool game. I don't remember the name of it, but it was neat. It was like had this special type of like circular device, as well as a little hiding like cover. And how the game works is with the circular device, it has like a band that has like a 4 points, and then around that band is like 3 points, and then around the 3 points is 2 points, and then after that there's nothing. It's just a complete blank space surrounding that band. And the way it works is when you're handed it, you're given a card prompt. So for example, film and movie. And then you have this little thing. You have to turn it randomly. You have to open it. You have to make sure that your opponents, or not opponents, but players don't see what you see. And then, so for example, if the band is this direction on the circular thing, you need to pretty much close it, tell your players, okay, so you have to give them a little bit to go off of. So for example, say a movie like, I don't know, Prince of Egypt, right? Like maybe the band's like right near the top, slightly leaning more toward movie than film. Then you have to leave it to your players sort of come to the conclusion of what exactly you mean. They have to turn the red knob that points to whether it's going to hit the band or of any points or the empty space. And eventually, when they find their choices, you reveal what it was, and if they get it right, they win and they can move their head piece a little further along, and if they didn't get it right, they don't move their head piece further along. So that's pretty much the game. It's pretty fun. It's a good social little exercise experience that I greatly enjoyed. We played that for a bit before my mom had the sides heated up. Well, actually, my sister heated up the sides in the oven. My mom cooked up some pumpkin spice muffins. And then once everything was good to go, we went in and had our Thanksgiving meal. This Thanksgiving meal was quite good. It was turkey, it was delicious gravy, it was mashed potatoes that had some kind of cream cheese and sour cream in it. There was muffins, there was croissants. Yeah, it was a really filling meal, and it was very good, and I greatly enjoyed all of it. And then, when we were halfway through eating, the timer went off for the dough rising on the cinnamon rolls, so I took the covers off. They were much puffier. I put them in the oven for 27 minutes, and then I sat down and ate with my family. Not my whole family, but, part of my family. And then we got a call from our family friend who will be coming back at the end of this month. And we greeted her and wished her a happy Thanksgiving and had a lengthy conversation. We turned it off, and afterwards, when we were done hanging around the table chatting, I actually tried something I've never tried before until today, and that was a drink known as Chardonnay. I'm not really a wine drinker or an alcoholic drinker for that matter, like, for my own personal reasons. But my sister brought it, and I only wanted to try a little bit just to see what all the fuss was about. Um, it definitely was very, like, it was like a mixture between vinegary, spicy, a little, like, notes of graveliness in there. I mean, I could see why people can get obsessed with this stuff. It definitely, like, it's kind of fun to describe the unique taste and texture and flavor of a wine, I suppose. Personally, though, like, and then my sister told me it would take 4 full glasses before you started feeling, drunk or tipsy or whatever. So I guess that was good because I only had this much. But I am glad that I did try it out because now I know what people are drinking. It's an interesting experience. I could see how people could get addicted to it for sure. Then the cinnamon rolls were done. I took those out. My sisters and my mom went to the living room, the den, and they were hanging out with our cat, Avery, who was sitting there with them. And they were chatting about and trying to teach my mom how to play the game that I just described and how to play it. And as they were doing that, I was making the cream cheese, butter, powdered sugar, and vanilla frosting for the finished cinnamon rolls. So, I made that. I had to grind the sugar itself down to a fine powder, mixed everything together, spread it on the cinnamon rolls. We were good to go. And then, but because everyone was still full from the Thanksgiving meal, we chose not to eat it until a little later. So then afterwards, I went in and I was playing the game with my mom and my sisters of the mind game. My mom was having a hard time understanding the mind game, and so my sisters had to describe it really well for her. And it took some watch and learn, and we'll just walk you through this and play through it as we go along sort of direction before we eventually did find a good way to really lock things down. Once everyone understood the game, it was a lot of fun. Then afterwards, I remember that we eventually decided to watch a video or something on the TV. We saw a trailer for a new Knives Out movie that looked pretty interesting and fun. And after the Knives Out movie, we then moved on to watch the first episode of the new and final season of the TV or streaming show Stranger Things. This was a pretty interesting episode. It was about the characters were all it opened up with one of the younger characters who had slugs put in them that were used to control the characters so he could see what the Demogorgon see, and then we cut to time jump into the future where one of the characters is getting picked on by bullies, and there's update on what's going on with the military presence in the town that the characters reside in, and we see where the characters are at. 11 is training, the boys are trying to keep the band together. There's like a little fun like rivalry between two boys trying to impress like a girl by climbing up a tall tower. Overall, it was a pretty fun and interesting start to the season, I would say. And yeah, I didn't regret watching it. I kind of liked it. Well, anyways, after we were done watching that, we wanted to go for a walk, but then I needed to use the restroom when it was. Oh, and as we were watching the Stranger Things, I ate like 2 cinnamon rolls and 2 cups of coffee. Anyways, so yeah, we wanted to go for a walk, need to use the restroom. When I came out, my mom was talking with my eldest sister, who is in another state, and we were just connecting and, talking to each other and having a pretty good time, and everyone was connecting, and it was pretty good for sure. I greatly enjoyed seeing my eldest sister. It was awesome. Thumbs up. Well, anyways, after that, then we went for a nice long walk. Of course, after inspecting areas of the house and having some conversations about it. So yeah, we went for a nice little, I think it was like an hour-long walk around the neighborhood until eventually we returned home. And there, we were just hanging out, and I suggested, hey, want to check out this new alien documentary that just came out called Age of Disclosure? My sister agreed, so I turned it on the TV, and we started watching it, but before we could, my mom needed to pack some things for my middle sister before she could leave after the documentary. So as she was doing that, my middle sister was showing me this new game that's apparently a really hot commodity right now, and it's about like anime girls who are like pretending to be like horses, and they're like running, and you can like bet on the horses and who's gonna win and who's gonna lose and stuff. This was a really bizarre and interesting game. Not exactly sure. Like, I guess the appeal is like they're cute anime girls that you can watch run. Kind of weird, not gonna lie. But I guess there's a market that finds that appealing. Yeah. Well, anyways, after witnessing this strange game, we started watching the documentary, and yeah, The Age of Disclosure was a pretty interesting documentary. It was basically about like how a bunch of military and U.S. officials agree that non-human intelligence does exist, and that it's been like in the deeper layers of the government for a while now, but it's like the most top secret, like highly regarded thing ever. So that's why we haven't seen much of it. And then they go into like theories about how the propulsion system works and what the potential reason these beings could be showing up on our planet could be, and things like that. It was pretty entertaining, but overall I was left pretty disappointed because one of the men interviewed in the documentary said that he's seen biologics with his own eyes, and I remember seeing that in like the trailer, and then I'm watching this documentary and it's not in this documentary. So I don't know. I guess maybe they cut that part out or something. But yeah, that's a shame. Or maybe because my sister and my mom were talking over it quite a lot, so maybe I missed out on it, like in a scene here or there. But I was expecting like the guy to talk about like his experience witnessing these beings, these non-human beings, and the first person perspective, and like giving like descriptions of what they might look like and all this stuff. But they didn't do that, so it's kind of a shame, not gonna lie. I was left a bit disappointed with that not being addressed, or seemingly not being addressed, given my current viewing situation. Well, as I was watching, I was eating Cheetos and drinking Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar, and yeah, just chilling with my family. It was a lot of fun. Then we walked my sister out because she needed to drive home. My middle sister. She left. Before she left, we sang a song. Even my elderly cat Avery walked out to say goodbye to her, which surprised me because it seems like it might be closing in on his time, which is sad to say, but he seems to be getting weaker as the days go on. I mean, I don't think anyone wants that to happen to their pet, especially a pet of like, you know, 16 years, but, you know, if it's their time, then it's their time, so you can't really control that. But yeah, apparently enough energy to go out and say goodbye to my sisters. So that was really cool. I thought that was neat. And then we went out. And my mom and I talked about like what we thought about our cat Avery and his health at that point, and his decisions. He likes going in the bathroom with like the tiles for some reason. And his breath just started to smell a bit bad. We're thinking that might be because his organs are starting to shut down. This is starting to make us ask like questions like, should we, put him to sleep? Or yeah, I mean, I really don't want to think about these questions, but sometimes if your pet's in pain, the most humane thing you can do is like do something like that. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see if in the future. I have been giving him vitamin B12 tablets. I gave him another one today, exactly on the dot from what I gave him yesterday, like at around 5:20. Well, anyways, after that, I was me and my mom were watching like videos that were cat related on the TV for like a good like hour, or hour and a half. Then she left, and when she left, I decided it would be a good idea to watch a guy talk about cooking different like animals, from like ribeyes, different animal meat ribeyes. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting video. Then I was like, okay, I'm really sleepy. So I got up. My cat, Avery, was sleeping on my lap at the time. So I moved him out of my lap and just wrapped him in, blankets, well, making sure he could easily still get out. And then I brushed my teeth, I took my vitamins. And now I am here recording this update video. So that's pretty much the deal for now. This was a pretty good Thanksgiving. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to experience it again. Now, I'm at a conflicting point right now because there's plenty of cinnamon rolls left, and I know I said that I'm only going on a 3-day keto vacation, but I gotta be honest, like last time I went on a cheat day, I made a bunch of cinnamon rolls and not all of them were eaten. So I just think maybe that would be a waste, but at the same time, have had so much integrity in my diet. It would be a shame if I didn't show that integrity. But at the same time, there was quite a lot of leftovers from Thanksgiving, like mashed potatoes and gravy, and it'd be a shame like to not eat those because it probably costs a lot of money. I don't know. Should I extend the keto vacation to one more day, or should I go strict full throttle keto tomorrow? You let me know. Apparently I weigh 153.5 in the morning. Probably going to jump up significantly based on what I've eaten today. Oh boy. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Well, anyways, I'm really sleepy. I'm going to go to bed now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.